As Mighty Mouse just said in the chat, sweet baby Jesus.
Here we are.
We're back.
We are back to live.
This is so good.
Yeah.
I love this that we're live. We're in the Mr. Smalls Theater in Pittsburgh, coming to you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm.
We've been living on Zoom for months now.
Yeah, this is much more preferable in my experience anyway. I love this interaction face-to-face. It's easier to speak with everybody. I'm sure everyone loves it more. For everyone on YouTube watching, get the angle changes.
Welcome.
Too, so hope you're all enjoying this.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to do this episode. We are very lucky. We're doing a 3-part series with the godfather of our sport, Chris Edwards.
This is something that all of our guests have been wanting for a long time.
Yeah, I've been wanting it.
5 years, even though we've only been around for 2 years.
Yeah.
They've been wanting it for a long time.
Yeah, it's crazy, this 3-part series we're doing. We're coming up into chronological order, so we're doing 85 to 94. 85 to 94 is going to be this part 1. Part 2 is going to be 95, 96, 97, and part 3 is going to be 98 onward, and everything that Chris is doing. As always, all of our super chats have to our guest, and in this particular case, it's going to be going to the Chris Edwards Foundation, which helps kids from broken homes learn how to build homes, kids who skate, so we'll get more into that later. But for now, you guys ready for my spiel?
I think we're ready for the spiel.
Should we do it? Okay. If you don't already, please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Go to our YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, so when we have an episode, you get a ding on your phone. Go to our Instagram, follow us. Go to our Facebook, give us a like. Go to our iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, please, and a comment. With our YouTube, the interactions really help if you share the video, if you comment on the video. And we also have a Patreon if you're interested. You can be a Patreon for as little as $1 a month. We are doing
the Patreon too with some more content. So
we have exclusive content on the Patreon. Everything that you do helps us. Like right now, we're in Pittsburgh, and we couldn't be here without the help of our Patreons.
Yeah, we're happy to put that Patreon money to good use.
Finally. Yeah. So thank you very much, and here we are. And do you want to shout out some of our Patreon supporters?
Patreon supporters this week. I didn't practice any of these, so let's see how we do. Shout out to Robert Waters, Anthony Zanonos, Jason Newing, Joshua Hillel, Salvatore Zazzo, Silly Sal Zazzo,
Sal,
Scott Barnhart, Justin Mariano, Future Blade Company, I couldn't find a real name, just Future Blade Company, Jill Chicon, and Jamie Olstead.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Jamie.
Shout out Jamie. Thank you so much.
Yesterday, yeah. So thank you to all our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. Because of you, we're here today in Pittsburgh with the God himself.
Yes, very excited. Also, we wanted to give you an update on our Donate and Skate. Everyone who's been following us and through this Donate and Skate knows we had a huge turnout. We got a ton of skates, somewhere just south of 100, I think, maybe around 90. Like that, yeah. And now we're just in the process of getting everything in order. We did a fundraiser where we netted around $4,000.
Yeah, that's huge.
After PayPal and YouTube hits us, it'll be a little bit less, but a lot of that money is going to be able to go to shipping. And we're super busy right now. We're here in Pittsburgh, but when we're done with all that, please follow us and stay tuned. We're going to be telling everyone where we send our stuff, and we're in the process of kind of just mitigating that right now. So that's the update on that. I just want to say thanks to everyone who participated again. It's going to be really exciting to see a lot of that stuff get out there in the world and see it get put to use. So thanks again. We also have some sponsors for this episode.
We do. Our first sponsor this week is Zella Health, which is a fellow Blader-owned health brand who is trying to focus on supplements to help us keep us moving forward and feeling great, especially with us, skaters. If anyone has any inflammations in their joints or anything like that, they have a great turmeric and ginger capsule. Inflammation is one of the leading causes in overall health deterioration. The active curcumin, I got it right this time. The active curcumin in Zella Health turmeric capsules is an anti-inflammatory powerhouse. So I know a lot of skaters have issues with like inflammation in their knees and ankles and other joints and stuff like that. So this is perfect for you guys out there.
I use this stuff. I have the turmeric and ginger.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, exactly.
Really the knees. The turmeric's really good for inflammation.
Oh, it's perfect. Everyone always complains about their knees. Yeah. Everyone always got knee problems.
You got to start paying attention to these things.
Yeah. So it's good for your knees, any other type of chronic inflammations. This is why Zella Health created the turmeric and ginger with apple cider vinegar as your one-stop solution to relieving joint pains. Zella Health also has apple cider vinegar gummies, elderberry, vitamin C, and zinc capsules. So definitely check them out. They're offering for Jump Street podcast viewers 20% off your entire order with code JumpStreet, as well as deals on gift bundles for the holidays. So definitely check them out. There's a link in the description, and don't forget 20% off with code JumpStreet.
20% off, that's good.
That's really good.
So shout out Zella Health. And shout out to our other sponsor, Intuition Skate Shop, Matt Mickey. Intuition Skate Shop is the world's local skate shop since 2000. 2 decades of blade, brick and mortar without borders. These exclusive shirts were hand-drawn by iconic blade artist Jeremy Baytall. We're talking about the 4 new shirts that Intuition has. They are the As Fate Would Have It shirt, the Can't Skate, it's the skeleton doing the soul grind.
That one's awesome.
And the Derek Henderson shirt. And we're wearing some, Intuition gear right now as well. Some of the older shirts that are really, really good. These exclusive shirts were hand-drawn by iconic blade artist Jeremy Baytall, as I said, and are available in sizes extra small to triple XL. And I'm wearing Matt Mickey's signature captain's hat, and he says, "Every day is a cruise in your captain's hat." So shout out to Matt Mickey, and shout out Intuition Skate Shop. Check them out. It's intuitionskateshop.com or on Instagram at Intuition Skate Shop. Check out the new shirts. They're really good. I've always loved their stuff and what Matt Mickey does.
Hell yeah, the style of these shirts. I'm rocking one right now.
Yeah.
So are you?
2 decades.
2 decades.
2 decades with blade, brick and mortar without borders.
Exactly. We got to keep supporting these people that are in the industry for this long. They're dedicated. We're dedicated.
Yep.
Everyone's got to support each other.
Thank you for your support. And yeah, I think that's everyone. Now we have a very... Is that everything?
We have a lot of stuff to do, but yeah, I think that's everything for now.
Wow. So without further ado, we're going to welcome on our very special guest, none other than the Godfather, the creator, Chris Edwards.
Woo! In post, I got to put like a big crowd applauding us. We're in the.
Thank you. You guys are great out there. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing, Chris?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Talk a little closer to the mic.
Feeling good, feeling alive, man. Just,
Talk a little closer to the mic.
All right, no problem, man. Just feeling good. Just feeling alive. Just I'm really excited to be able to say hello to everybody. Hello, rollerblading.
Yeah. It's been a long time, and you've been, obviously, we all grew up watching you skate, and man, from like the earliest videos, Dare to Air, even in some of like the silver screen movies, like, I'd see you in like Airborne and all these other things. A lot of people who are new to skating, we'd be reintroducing you to them.
Yeah.
But I'd like to start off a lot of the time at the beginning of the story, how people got started, and you started so early, before like anybody, before we started, it was already on TV and stuff. But when you started, this is like 1985, right?
Yeah, right. Like it was the like really the fall, about to roll into '86, and I worked I was fortunate enough to be able to work like at a bike shop with my next door neighbor at North County Bicycles in Escondido, and he kind of like took me under his wing. He kind of recognized that my family life was a little rough, but so it was. He gave me the opportunity at 12 to like go in the shop and clean up bikes and things like that, and he would pay me like shop dollars, right? So
yeah, like pay you in points.
Yeah, right. Because I'm 12, I can't legally work.
Yeah,
right. So, but I would go and clean bikes and stuff. And at first, I'd buy parts for my bikes, and then he.
So you were riding bikes back then?
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
As all kids do, right?
Right.
Yeah. Love bikes.
Yeah.
And then, but then he brought in a pair of rollerblade Zetras, and man, I saw them, and I was just like, man, I got to get me a pair of those. There was like a dude with ski poles, right, like on the thing.
On the cover.
Yeah, and I had my family had spent like I was born in Escondido in California, and then my dad was like a pastor evangelist, right? So we like traveled around a little bit, but then he ended up taking a church in New Mexico, where there was a ski hill, like right there in Los Alamos, New Mexico, like. So we'd ski like every day, and my dad really at the beginning had me skiing since I was a kid. We'd take trips up to Big Bear, and ski a few times every year, and then we ended up moving into Los Alamos. I was probably there from when I was like 8 to 12. So like we had just moved back into Escondido when all this like starts to begin, right? So like I'm like, oh man, I'm really gonna miss skiing because now I'm back in Escondido where it's all there's no snow.
Yeah.
Right. But then when I see this like when I see the like cover of this dude, like I was like, oh.
Street skiing.
I can street ski. Yeah, right. Like I can.
So he had poles with rollerblades on.
Yeah, yeah.
On
Like
the
they
cover.
used to, because like rollerblade. The Olsen brothers, dude. Like they're like they're like us, right? Like the skater. They're like they're like us, like that inner skater that like. Nothing's gonna stop me from riding. They loved hockey so much that they didn't want to stop. So they like, okay, the ice is melted, but I don't want to stop. Like I gotta
keep
do
shredding.
some more, man. Like give me the more.
Yeah.
So they invented the rollerblade. Like, this is, I mean, they're like, if there's kudos to anybody, man, none of us would be anywhere without those two brothers and their passion that like. Nothing will stop us from riding, So taking off of that, then they started to expand a bit. So like I'm not exactly sure. Like,
So did he you got the skates from like working for Shop Points?
Yeah.
You were able to buy from like the Shop Points?
Yep.
Sick.
Because what had just happened, then the Olsen brothers, they're out of Minneapolis, so they're now ready to start kind of pushing their product around. And then start to advertise that, like, not only is this awesome for hockey, but holy crap, like it's like kind of cool for fitness, and you can cross train for skiing.
Yeah.
So then they started to expand their advertisement, and so one of them was kind of like a skate to ski thing. So there's the dude with the poles, right? And then I was like, whew. Like cool, man. Now I can still ski, like right.
Yeah.
So like that same kind of passion of like nothing's gonna stop me. So when the snow's gone, now there's there's some rollerblades. So, man, I hustled, man. I wiped down some bikes, I wiped down some toilets, and scrubbed some floors, and like
little mopping.
Martin, I want them skates, dude. Like
You work for them.
Give them to me, man. Like and I got them, and I mean the moment I put them on, I was just like, okay. This is cool. Like this is something. Like just started cruising around town, finding.
So you were a natural because of the skiing.
Because of the skiing, yeah, right.
You took to it right away.
Yeah, right away. And I already done ice skating and everything. Like in New Mexico, like up in Los Alamos, there was also an ice rink, so we go ice skating, we go skiing. So like the winter sports was like ingrained in me a bit, So the I mean, so it's ingrained. So I take to them like. Quite well.
Yeah. So then around that time, you were skating around, and I think you were saying that. What was the shop owner's name? Your neighbor?
Martin.
Martin. So you're saying that Martin was seeing you skate and rip around, and he reached out to Rollerblade, Chris Mitchell, Pat Parnell for like the Rollerblade.
It would have
team,
been
right?
Chris Morris.
Chris Morris. I'm sorry.
Okay. And Chris Mitchell ends up getting involved as well. But,
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay.
So Chris Morris and Pat Parnell.
Yeah, so he reaches out like in '87, all right, and he's like, this kid like really took to these skates. You need to come check him out, So one day I show up to the bike shop, and I'm like, hey, what do I got to do today? Martin's like, I got one thing for you today. You're gonna go with these guys right here, and you're gonna go kick some ass. I was like, oh okay.
So it's like 86, 7?
No, this is '87. Yeah,
'87. Okay.
this
cool.
is '87. So I'd already been on.
Still pretty early.
It's the year I was
born.
born.
I'd already
Still pretty early.
It is early. It is early, and so this is like '87. So I've been on the skates for a good year. So I had I picked up a little bit of skills, right? Enough to where Martin was like, "Dang, dude, you're really taking to these things."
Yeah.
There was like a little bit of a drop off, like coming from the gas station down into the parking lot of the bike shop. I used to just come flying in. Whew, launching and let's go to work.
Yeah.
So he was just like, man, you're wild, Chris. So,
And it was so early too, because like no one was doing.
Dude, there was nobody, man.
Yeah.
I like it was really crazy. Like I mean, I was the only kid.
Yeah,
at
in the
school.
beginning you were skating by yourself.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, that's crazy.
I was the only kid at school that had a pair, and like. I would roll around Escondido, and people would be like, what are you wearing? What are those?
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, these are these cool new things, rollerblades, man. They're awesome,
Yeah.
And so then back to Chris Morris and Pat Parnell coming down. So they I take them over to Escondido High, and it was like kind of stomping ground. I had all kinds of fun little things to do, like little dippy dudes up and over a little rail, you know, like a couple stairs to jump, and you know, things that I would just like fly around that school and do. And I had like a couple of really nice big gaps that I was like falling in love with. So. Morris, I think that Parnell was like, I think Parnell was hungover. Now that I'm an adult, I know what was happening. Pat, I know that you were hungover. So Pat stayed in the van, okay, and Morris took me for the ride, right? Or I took Morris for the ride, like whatever. He chased me around, and then I followed him, and then he was like he was blown away, you know. And then the thing I took from Chris Morris, which I think I shared in a story on the Instagram, there was that he went down the stairs. He rode down the stairs at Escondido High, and I did a couple of things where I left him behind, right? And like he stopped and was like, whoa, you know, like I'm not gonna jump that. But then like we come flying over the stairs, and he just like rides all the way down them, and I just was standing there like, wow, like I got to do that. And I mimicked it, and I ate shit, like, I mean, just, you know, tumbled down the stairs at first. So, like, when they left, man, I was, like, really determined to do stairs. And then my stair ride in Dare to Air, that, like, massive, it was like I was almost coming down a mountain of stairs. That was just, like, my, like, inner, like, I'm going to conquer riding down some stairs. And, you know, that was one of my first big drives of, like, having a real, like failure moment and then having to overcome it.
I think that was one of those first moments where people probably saw rollerblading as like something cool and not like, you know, whatever the image was before, or like spandex, whatever. But like to bash downstairs like that, no one's ever seen that in any kind of like aspect, you know.
No, they hadn't at the time, you know, and that's what made Dare to Air so eye-opening. It was like Dare to Air was the first like collaboration with Video Groove and Sean Tomlin and Morgan Stone, and their dedication to present something that didn't have like any other element other than like getting with it, like freestyle core, like hammers and banging, you know.
So do you think that was like the first like video of that style? Because I know Vertical Axis came before that, right?
Okay, yes. Well, it was like weird. It was weird. Like they kind of like released at the same time, but like Vertical Access still had like a little bit of like typical rollerblade promotional fluff. So there's still like oh, let's skate down the sidewalk and like, you know,
dancing.
Come on, you know, like where Dare to Air was just like, I'm Freddie FJ Finkelmeyer, and guess what? You're not gonna see me in this video.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where the kind of the joke of that character came from, was just to kind of be like, this one's not going to have that. Like, you know, so then outside of the joke of Freddie Finkelmeyer, there was none of that. Right.
So you would say like Dare to Air was probably like the birth of like the core of street skating.
For sure. Core and vert. And park. I mean, there's
skating,
anything,
of aggressive.
Freestyle, of what
freestyle
we do.
Aggressive
Like, yeah, for sure. Well, with the culmination, there was a culmination, like, there was an emergence, like, I guess, you know, or like a big bang, like just this moment where like it all came together, you know, like where a lot of hard work leading up to it came and was like oh my God, like we have something here, because prior it was us doing rollerblade demos and shows, right? And there was like this, like the TRS, Team Rollerblade, and the Team Rollerblade series. That was like this like conglomeration of like people dancing, doing like awesome dance skate tricks, you know, and like, you know,
spandex style.
Yeah. But it was spandex style. But you know, you got to respect what they were doing. I mean, they were like swinging each other around.
Yeah,
like,
they're
you know,
ripping.
like,
they're
dude,
ripping.
You know, lifting chicks in the air, doing ice skate shit. You know, like, but like you got to respect that. It just wasn't like, you know, what we wanted to do. But but they were down on the ground. And then there would be a half pipe behind it, and so we'd go set up in malls and different things, and like in comes the circus, and let's like hook you, and you're gonna buy skates, right? Like it was all promotional, because we were at that moment when like the world didn't know about rollerblading yet. Like they were, this was a targeted introduction to just skating in general. right? Not like let's focus only on this segment. Like we weren't a segment yet. We were just like a show, you know. So we were just like
There was no culture behind it yet.
Right. It was more just an introduction to the actual skating, and so then the culture started to develop, and then rollerblade instantly, you know, attached themselves to the hockey culture, instantly attached themselves to the racing culture, and you know, and then the recreational market. Oh man, all super duper fluffy push, and then they just kind of used us as like this, like, you know, like the flame and the like the circus freaks, you know, because we were just we could snag the attention when, you know, when I go dropping in and, you know, Chris Garrett goes this way and Jimmy Trimble goes this way, and I pop a McTwist over the top of them, and you do this triple like bang,
and it's so brand new,
like, right? Like so, then it got people hooked. But then we were starting to do like a lot of TV commercials were coming our way.
Yeah. So how did that transition? Well, so in this time where you're doing these demos,
because there's a lot that happens between you know, me getting my skates at North County Bicycles with Martin Wazalski to the like this explosion, right? Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of years in between there,
Dare to
too.
Air, Airborne, Daily Bread.
Yeah.
I got Birth Clothing going. Arlo's living in California now. He's starting Senate. Like there was like this moment in '93 where it was like, oh my God, we're gonna do this.
That's crazy. So much happened in 1 year.
Well, but like any great thing, right? Like there's a whole bunch of hidden years that you don't see. So there's this big push with everybody, with Angie Walton and Jess Darenforth and Pat Parnell and Chris Mitchell and Chris Morris and you know
Doug Boyce.
Yeah, well Doug Boyce was at the very beginning. He like and so he was in for a bit, but then. He was there like right at the get-go and was like really pushing, and then he started getting busy with music, like and art. Like he's a phenomenal artist, like music and artist. Like,
so you're talking about the first wave of like the culture, all these
the first set of people that were really pushing it. Like we were writing for Rollerblade as the demo team
the circus act
and the push, right? So like, you know, all of us who were more like,
and you were demoing with skateboarders and bikers at this time, or just solo?
No, it was more solo, just all rollerblade.
Okay,
like pre '93. It was more like when once we were into the '90s, there were like Jill Schultz started doing some cool stuff where she brought in Tony Hawk and Matt Hoffman, Dennis McCoy, and did this really cool show up at her place, like. And that would have been like early '90s right there, like probably like '91, '92. You know, I'm starting to get old, so forgive me if I'm not dead accurate as to this time.
Early '90s,
right around there.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I mean, Jill Schultz did some really cool things where she brought everybody together like that. So I mean, like it was awesome. I had an honor to be able to like be on the same ramp with Tony Hawk and Matt Hoffman and Dennis McCoy and just be like, wow.
Yeah, it must have been like super exciting times because you're going from this part where you're skating at the local skate shop and then you're meeting all these influential people, Arlo and, you know, Brooke Howard Smith, Chris Mitchell, all these. And then there starts kind of being this interest in Hollywood, right? So you start getting into like.
No, it was almost the other way around. Okay. The Hollywood came first.
Okay, really?
Okay, yeah. Okay, the Hollywood came first, and this is where it kind of leads to this, right? Because we were like, I did the Sunny Delight commercial. I was 16 years old, right? This is way before '93. Now, you know, this was like 89, 90, like, you know. And then I did we did that Coke commercial. We've done Prayer of the Roller Boys. We've done a Kodak commercial, another Sunny Delight commercial. Like there was all kinds of commercials.
But then Airborne was like a massive, you know.
Airborne was, well, because what was cool about Airborne was that the writers and the directors and the producers of that movie were very open to just like showcasing what we did as a core and captured that within the movie without any fluff, you know. And then we were really conscious of not making anything look super unrealistic, like, you know, like the last jump at the end where I jump into the back of that bed. I stomped it a couple of times, right, but it just didn't it didn't look real, you know, because it was so big, and it kind of like just to go down and slide out.
Oh, so you landed that a few times?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
and they wanted to go with the other one.
I kind of wanted to.
I kind of like that too.
Because the first handful, dude. I mean, the first one, dude. I had so much adrenaline, like I'm like sprinting.
Did you actually run on a car for that?
No, there was a little bit of Hollywood trickery.
Okay,
but
I was curious
I
how
was
much.
hoping
Yeah,
not.
I was curious same thing too.
but the gap and everything else was real.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
So like it was wild because we actually put up on the top. We put a U-Haul. Opened up the U-Haul, right? I started in the back of the U-Haul to a little ramp or just a landing to roll across and then be able to take it up and over everything, right?
Wow.
So like, so that way it was nice and clean. I didn't want to be dude. That shit was high.
Nah.
Like, I don't need to be tripping.
Who picked that? Like, who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
Yo, jump over this.
Yeah. No,
Who choreographed it or whatever. Right?
Steve Boyum, dude. Steve Boyum was a madman. The second unit director. He was just an absolute madman.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did like Days of Thunder and like flipped themselves in cars at 100 miles an hour. So like anything that I'd be like, he's like, dude, just shut up, Edwards, and get in there and do it. You got it, man.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. I flipped cars. I'm like, okay, dude, you're right. I got this.
Yeah, you flipped cars.
Was there anything that didn't make it that like was completely like off the wall?
But probably lots of like anything, you guys know, like as editors, and that a lot of stuff ends up on the floor, as they say,
or just stuff where like he like had an idea to do something and you're like, that's not physically possible. There's no way.
I can't like offhand because like most of the stuff that like he worked really well with us. He didn't like
Okay.
If I was if I was like, dude, come on, dude, like now you're totally like out of the zone. But like I mean that big jump at the end going into that thing, it was like, I was like, all right, Boyum, I guess, bro. But like it was gnarly because like we're up on the 3rd floor of a parking structure, and then I mean if coming off of the actual truck, there's a down ramp, and I mean that was like a 40-50 foot drop, and then I'm up on the top here with like just the driveway length of the ramp spitting out from underneath the level below me, and that's like a 60-foot drop. So I'm like up on the top with like, and I couldn't see, like all I could see from the back of the truck, dude, was like the parking lot way the hell out there, like 50-60 foot down. We had to like set somebody up in the scene. I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
We had to set somebody up in the scene, like holding a flag, like they looked like it was part of the construction, right? That's why they kind of made it the construction thing. I was like, I need a marker. Like I'm not jumping this without a marker. So they're like, we'll set up a construction scene. Okay, great. Set it up and put the dude with the flag in the air so that that's what I could see. So that was like,
that's cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm aiming for that flag. And man, the first time I did it, I was like, I'm aiming for that flag, and like almost overshot the thing.
I was about to say,
almost overshot everything. Like I mean, I just got a very little piece of that of the incline of the truck. I got just a little piece, and I ate shit bad, like and then I tried to like fine tune it a little bit, and then I think the one that actually made it was the second jump. So I took the gas off because my brain is just like wild the way my brain works. I have to go 100 first, and then come backwards. I don't go like, let's try it at 20. Okay, now 30.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, okay, ready, guys, man, fucking put the gas on.
Yeah.
That was way too much, and then I had to back it down. It's just like that's just the way my brain works.
Yeah.
But like kind of like in everything, dude.
Sure.
I'm an idiot, but
No, dude. Nah, man, it's just like intense, man. That's passionate.
But so I back it down a bit, and I believe that that's the one that like made the cut. So I backed it down a little bit, but the sheer pressure just kind of buckled my legs, and then shot me to my ass. But I spit out of it really cool looking, and so then it was just like, man, that's like, we got to use that one. Then I went back up and pulled the gas back a little bit more and just landed a couple for the sake of landing it, but I didn't like it wasn't. It was because it was dialed down a little bit. It wasn't just as like.
It did look as gnarly. Yeah. It's all about this cinematic movie.
And then like we really wanted it to feel realistic. So like that's probably what would have happened if you got lucky in the race and jumped that. Then if you pulled that off and spit out to your feet, back onto your feet, and was able to roll, then you're a rock star. So like it fit nice. So it was
that filming for that movie. I mean, that part was incredible, but filming for that movie in general must have been quite an experience because like you're like one of the main stunt guys, but you're also acting in like this serious movie with like Jack Black, with you know, Seth Green. There's like all these
Chris Conrad,
all
Shane
these serious,
McDermott,
So like
Jacob Vargas, dude. Jacob Vargas, I love Jacob Vargas. Snake, dude. Like,
Snake.
Dude,
Snake is tight.
Yeah, Snake's the best. Dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like Jacob Vargas is like, he was my favorite character.
Was there any like, you know, pressure like with all like this? Because like pretty much this entire film like rests on your shoulders in like multiple ways. Like. Just as like the main stunt guy to deliver all this skating, and then you're also like one of the main, one of the main actors in the movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't quite a main actor.
No, not a main actor, but
but I had an
acting some lines.
Yeah, I did. Right. Which was cool.
The main enemy's like best buddy.
Right. Yeah. Walt.
Jack.
Walt. That was Walt.
Walt. Jack's. But so I would imagine like I don't know, that one got to be an exciting time. Like, oh my God, everything's coming together because of skating. Yeah. And then two, just like I don't know, did you feel any pressure during that time?
I think that like I was still a bit young, right? And so like when you're young, you still got that like over the top self confidence, and it was I loved rollerblading. So the opportunity to be able to showcase rollerblading. And the fact,
just drunk with confidence because it's just like everything's working out.
Let's do this. Let's do this, man. And then
let's go.
And I'm backed by Jess Darrenforth and Pat Parnell and and Angie and there's people behind me.
The energy's there.
Yeah. There's people behind me that are like there to help and because it was all of our dreams. Like let's make something. Like we have an opportunity here to make like an international like culture from scratch, So we're cultivating the earth together, and so like all of it was just like a mission. Like it was more like a mission, than anything.
Yeah, you're all working together for this one cause.
Yeah, let's do this. Like this is so freaking awesome. This feeling that you get from this like has to be shared.
Yeah,
like other people gotta feel this. Like this is no joke.
Totally.
This stuff feels so good.
For sure, especially like with the energy back then, like it being like everything coming together and it working out and like people responding well to it in like the mainstream of the world and society in general.
Oh, dude,
that's a world so foreign to us now.
Yeah, it was a gigantic bowl of wild sauce. Like just like what the hell's happening here?
You guys are so like young in this game as well.
Yeah.
So it's.
Yeah, of course, man.
A lot of trial and error, right?
Well, on the skating side, for sure,
Sure.
And then probably, being young, there was, probably a lot of like, getting exploited and getting our butts kicked. But whatever. That's just part of life. You learn as you go. But but also we have like great and awesome like opportunities. So and I mean like here we are, man, 2020.
Yeah,
and we're talking about it, right?
I know, right? Who would have thought back then?
Dude,
that
God's
you'd be
good,
here
man.
doing
God's
this
good, dude. I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't.
Yeah. And like so you just mentioned Angie, and so we had Angie on the podcast before. She obviously started Daily Bread, which was like an important document in our culture, like our Bible, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And you had the first issue of Daily Bread, the cover of the first issue of Daily Bread.
Yeah. Here, you want to see it?
Oh, do you have it handy?
Well, legends don't go home without it.
Don't go home without it.
His book of memorabilia. It's right there.
Here you go, man.
But
pull it out.
How did you end up meeting Angie, and how did that all get started? Like the process behind the creation of this issue and everyone coming together to figure that out.
This is what I'm saying. There was years prior. So she was part of Team Rollerblade.
Oh, I didn't know she was on Team Rollerblade.
Yeah. So she did the ramps.
Had her on the podcast for 3 hours. And
she was part of original Team Rollerblade. So was Jess Darrenforth. So was Pat Parnell. So we were the ones up on the ramps doing the damn thing, right?
Okay.
Like we were the ones behind the dancers doing our thing. And, and Chris Mitchell, there were some crossovers because like Chris Mitchell was a great dancer and he could lift the girls and he knew what he was doing. And, and then like Corey Miller did the same, like where like he did some of the dance stuff, but he was also like a real bad to the bone dude, So, and then Mitchell's just a character, and he's just passionate about skating and like him starting Box Magazine and like so I mean there was this a big group that was really like, you know, Team Rollerblade that then was like, you know, we're going to kind of spawn off more into like our core.
Yeah, that's where you
like,
really...
Let's go make our own thing.
Yeah, that's where you really branched off, because before that there was only Team Rollerblade. There was no other team.
Well, there was no other skate brand.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
There was no
out
other
there.
skate
It's the
brand.
only one.
Yeah, it wasn't until like '94 when like Rossi's was making the rollerblade skates, right?
Yeah.
So they were the boot manufacturer. There was a contract. You're going to make our boots, okay? We'll make your boots. We'll make your skate. No problem. That contract ends, and Rossi's like, oh, whoa, you all making some money. Like now we're going to make our own brand. Good luck.
Yeah, they jumped on
right?
it.
Oh yeah, and then they had a chance to kind of like jump in there because they sent rollerblade scrambling to where like where are we going to manufacture now that we just lost our manufacturer? And then Rossi's was able to capitalize on that and then come like swinging in. So like as far as like a corporate like swing, like that was one hell of a punch from Rossi's. And so then they punched their way right into the game, you know, and like we're now our own brand. So there was the second brand ever in rollerblading history.
And this was around the time where like
this is when the tarmac
came out, which was the first pro skate. It was your skate, Chris Edwards tarmac.
Yep.
And you know, a lot of people who are involved in skating nowadays, they know, or people who were formerly pros the past 10, 15 years, they know like a lot of times you sell maybe 1,000 skates, maybe 2,000 if you're lucky. But off the bat, this was like a really high selling skate, right?
Do you know the number on that?
Like it was, I think that they made like they made the first run of about 25,000 skates.
25,000.
Yeah.
And they sold
which
out.
like but like
25.
which is
25 times what
which is all like I guess to today's numbers, which, you know, Lord willing, man, let's like work hard together here and let's bring those numbers back up. But but at the time, when, you know, you're talking about rollerblading at the time now is like becoming like the world Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest growing, most participated like sport ever in the history of mankind, right? Like
it was in Guinness for that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there was a point where there was more people that bought a pair of skates and was rolling on skates, no matter whether it was hockey, racing, recreational, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but like had a pair of inline skates that were we surpassed bikes. Like more people had skates than people had bikes, right? Like that's insane.
Yeah.
So then if you compare those numbers,
that is crazy.
Was like,
actually.
which was like
that's nuts.
Yeah, which was like at that time, I think it was like 22 to somewhere between 22 and 24 million people, right? So then 25,000 skates really isn't that big of a commitment.
Sure.
Like when you like look at it like compare apples to oranges. But they went for it, you know, and the great thing for all of us is that they sold out instantly. They were gone.
Instantly.
Yeah, gone.
And this was designed
and then Rossi's was able to come like swinging in with the
Rossi Street, was it?
Yeah, with one of with the Rossi Street products.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just read it in one of those magazines that you had, that when Rossi was at one of the Daily Breads, when they said when Rossi's got their first skate, and it was like Rossi's is in production working on our second aggressive skate or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. They really were able to come in and you know, snag a nice market, which was great, you know. But that was great though too, you know, because then, you know, that's where, you know, Rene Holgreen was able to get the love that he deserved. Arlo, like, you know, like others that weren't attached to this original Team Rollerblade, but that were putting in the groundwork and like really fighting underground. Had the opportunity to like come out and like start swinging with us.
They had a place to go.
Yeah, they had a place to go, which was great. You know,
sure.
that was like that like gave us like there was another elevation of like of, you know, of progression and growth. Well, which is, you know, key to why we're sitting here for 2020.
Absolutely.
Well, back to the tarmac, because it was the first pro signature model skate out.
Yeah.
Like, and you had a not only pro signature model skate, but first aggressive skate, I guess you would say.
No, I wouldn't say that.
What would be the first aggressive?
The Daytona.
Yeah, because the tarmac was like not made
skate
for grinding, right?
Yeah,
not built from the ground up.
What the tarmac did with again with like, you know, the backings of Angie and Parnell and Morris and Darrenforth, like we literally went into the rollerblade offices, you know, sitting with corporate inside a corporate round table.
Are we talking about the Daytona right now?
No, we're talking about the tarmac.
Okay,
the significance of the tarmac.
Okay.
Okay.
So
there's a
you guys helped design that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But there wasn't much to design.
Add-ons.
A lot of times pros these days don't, you know, get to design their boots and skate.
No.
Like
And I got to completely design the Daytona from the ground up. I moved to Minneapolis. But we'll get to that story.
Later,
let's like
the tarmac.
Yeah, let's talk about the tarmac and its like importance. to where we are right now.
Right.
Is they just wanted to make the tarmac, okay, without the CE, okay. Jess and Pat and Morris and Angie, they knew the importance of getting an initial on there at least. Like, just get an initial. If you're not going to like officially name it Chris Edwards, then we need to get our initial. We need to get something so that we could spawn this our culture where now everybody, like when you elevate our elevated riders who
Needs a face
kick
behind it,
ass,
kinda.
and now they have a spot like that's like, that's almost like the ultimate trophy, right?
Yeah.
And you did it. Your name's on that skate.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like
And,
concrete.
and you're
right?
making heroes, right? Because
Yeah,
little kids
exactly.
need heroes and
exactly,
need someone
exactly.
to.
So like we
need
really
to elevate
understood.
those
We
things.
really understood what it meant. Where even the corporates didn't quite understand it, But we fought, man, and Angie, like, you don't mess with Angie. Angie's like a pit bull, dude. Like,
Right.
You don't mess with her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, bro,
I know
you don't mess with
that is
Angie.
true.
If you
That
try
is
to
true.
mess with Angie, like, it's probably like it's a really bad decision.
Yeah.
Okay, but she would be in there like, no, you don't understand. You gotta put his name on this skate, and then like, this is what we need. Like, you don't get it,
Yeah.
But then I think like everyone was able to kind of play off the awesome energy of Angie. It was like good cop, bad cop. Like, no, slow down, Angie. We're gonna be okay. Like,
Yeah.
But then somehow, like, the fight, like, man, we got the CE on there, man, and then the advertisers like, remember, CE stands for Chris Edwards, and then there you have it. So then, like, all of a sudden we did it, right? Now we didn't have a chance to like make an aggressive skate yet, so we just threw the power strap on.
Modifications,
Oh,
kinda.
dude, like there was like, I mean, I had just started grinding rails, and like in '91 I did like the first kind of slides, like it was more like a slide on big wheels, and then like '92 we
But real quick,
Yeah.
that one you posted on your Instagram was like
Yeah.
the first rail grind, November 21st, 1991.
Yeah.
Quickly, just because I know that we're in the middle of a story, we could fly through this. I think it's pretty important to stop and talk about
Yeah.
for a second. But what was that featured on? Was that on MTV or what? Like,
no, that was in Vertical Access.
that was in Vertical Access,
yeah.
and so that was for sure. That was the first rail ever done with big wheels.
That was the first rail I ever did.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like the first rail that we knew about,
First documented.
and definitely first documented. And I won't be offended if someone can bring another video up. Awesome,
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
whatever.
think
That
it's
would be-
pretty. I think it's
yeah.
pretty uncontested.
Yeah.
I think
so,
I
too.
haven't seen
Especially
one
at this
person
point.
contest.
Yeah.
So
So,
I think
I
it's
mean,
pretty safe. To
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
But I mean, but that was also like, a lot of the stuff that I did was not me, right? Like it was like Jess and Angie and everybody and Doug Boyce even like, man, it'd be cool if you could do this. I'm like, oh, it would be? Okay, let me go do it. I was just like a wild young kid, like amped it for skating and like, yeah, let's try it. A lot of the stuff I did was like a suggestion or a push. You're like, go this way, do this. Like they were like almost like shaping me as they were shaping us, right? Like, cause they're my bigger brothers and sisters. I was still a kid. They were like they're my elders, like to a sense. So they were just like utilizing my energy and my hypeness for skate and my abilities,
Giving you some direction.
giving me some direction. And it'd be like, Doug and Pat, I remember Doug and Pat would be sitting there, and Doug would be like, man, that was awesome, just lift your legs higher and grab, okay, like I'll go for it,
Yeah.
and so a lot of that was just I was almost like their little creation, like their little puppet, like, ooh, make Chris do this.
They built you.
Yeah, like, ooh, let's go. Watch this. Chris can do this. But it was really important though to like, show all this diversity and like what you can do on skates. There's so many different options.
Were people hitting rails in other sports before that?
I
BMX
don't. I think so. Like, I mean,
Because where'd the idea come from? They hit a rail like that.
yeah, most likely from skateboarding. I mean, like, for sure, and bikes. Like they were before us. Like,
Yeah.
all respect's got to be paid, and
sure.
like, and a lot of the tricks, like I got. I was fortunate enough to like skate at Mike McGill's skate park, like in Carlsbad. I go and ride the vert ramp, and Mike was awesome, man. He let me in, and he encouraged me, and then I just watching him do the McTwist, and I was like, oh man, I was like, Mike, I want to try that on my skates, dude, and I just kind of watched him for a while, and then I tried to figure out my body movements and like do the roll the way he rolls, because like he like rolls it like really wild, and then like he's like he's being influenced by like some of the awesome roller
skaters.
Yeah, right. Like Duke and Fred Blood
Yeah.
and like, you know, and so then like this like awesome like kind of full circle things happening where like the roller skaters influencing the skateboarders influencing the rollerbladers
Yeah.
and like, you
Right.
know, but like, you know, so like I've always called it the McTwist because like I'm gonna give like credit where credit's due, right? Like
sure.
pay the homage. So like I think that there were sometimes there might have been like some misinterpretations that we were trying to like steal or like imitate skateboarding, but it was more like
Homage.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was more like just like a out of respect, like.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I'll do a Japan, I'll do a Rocket, like, you know, I'll do like watching Christian Asoy, dude, like get out of here. Like watching Christian Asoy made me want to be like, oh my God, I got to do that. And I just happened to fall in love with rollerblading, and so I wanted to do that on rollerblades, you know.
In the early days, did you experience much pushback from like the skateboard community, or was it more
Not too
open
bad.
arms?
It was a little more. I wouldn't. Just was what it was.
Was what
right?
it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't hate.
Yeah, it just was.
It's just some. You were just some.
There wasn't
different.
enough of us, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I totally respect and understand why the skateboarding community got a little wild with us, you know. So, like, you know, we grew so fast, dude. We're overtaking skate parks. We're totally like half the people. We didn't have the opportunity to like educate our people, right? Like we had no way to educate our people, and like you know,
It was just so new.
it was chaos.
It was being.
dude.
It was chaos.
It was chaos, dude. And
Yeah.
the poor skateboarding community had to deal with us morons, dude.
And there was like
Like,
just an
like
influx.
no wonder, dude. Like no wonder. So I look at
Yeah.
man, like to the skateboarding community, apologize. Like I have such respect and love for skateboarding and bikes, man. Like Matt Hoffman, Dennis McCoy,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like get out of here, dude. The Lord, like come on, man.
Yeah.
Like how can you not respect that?
Sure.
You know, and we'd be fools to think that we'd anything without their influence, you know.
But like you said, it was just like this thing that was really young. It was chaos.
Yeah.
And it went from chaos to like being extremely successful in a short amount of time. And rollerblade was making like what hundreds of. It became like $1 billion industry.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, it's a multi-billion.
Multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yep.
And so here's these kids like selling tens of thousands of skates,
Right.
and then this like huge industry, and they're just been there for years, like probably struggling, going up the hard way, and they're like screw this. So
Yeah.
it completely makes sense why, especially at that time, there would be a bit of resentment.
And skateboarders were turning into rollerbladers too
Sure.
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people were transitioning over.
Yeah.
But I think you remember we were.
But I
talking.
mean, but skateboarding did exactly what like skateboarding always does. They came back and claimed the throne.
Oh, yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Definitely.
And, yeah, it's theirs to have, you know, and we're just a branch of their evolution from Alva and them, you
Sure.
know, and those prior and then the past, and
But I would argue that people like you helped us like create our own culture. Like, sure, it was a father and an influence,
Right.
But then there was like at some point it deviates and it becomes its own
Own
thing,
gig.
and
Right.
it's like not. I believe we're at the point now where it's really not under the shadow of skateboarding.
No.
anything other than the initial like influence of like style and being like a
Yeah,
father
right.
to influence. But like people like you and Arlo. John Julio helped like
Yeah.
really give it its own identity.
Well, we needed to give it our own identity. Like there was respect paid, but like we're rollerbladers, man. Like
Right.
I love rollerblading,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do the damn thing on my rollerblades. And if you got a problem with that,
Yeah. Sorry,
there's
bud.
a door, there's a car. You can drive away. You can just get the hell away from me.
Right.
But I'm gonna rollerblade,
Yeah.
you know, and then in doing so, I'm gonna just show my respect where respect's due, and then other than that, just let's skate.
For sure. But I would also say like not only was like there's probably some challenges with like the skateboarding industry and like other industries like seeing rollerblading as this like growing threat, but then after other companies start to notice that it was a multi-billion-dollar industry, like everyone started coming in. And I remember you telling me it was like Nike and Fila
Yeah.
Bauer,
K2.
But we were
and
like going
Solid.
into like the next segment, so.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we'll save that.
That's all right.
I thought that was. You want to talk about NIST 94, the first competition,
Yeah.
Venice Beach?
Yeah, well, okay. Things are going good. We have daily bread, man. I started birth. Arlo's doing Senate. And, we got Dare to Airs out. And, like, the tarmac's out, so things are.
You have an agent.
Things are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing good. But then all of a sudden there's like, you know, the contest series. But like, I don't know, man. Me personally, I despise contests. I'm not a contest skater. Like, I know
people are gonna find that hard to believe too.
I'm just not. I'm not a contest
Yeah.
skater. I don't like contests personally. I think that contests are great for us. So
But you
don't
skated the
don't,
shit
don't
out of
misinterpret.
contests, though.
Don't misinterpret what I'm saying about contests, because our contests are great, and a contest skater is like just the most beautiful thing to watch when you know someone that's disciplined. Like it's more it's like the discipline of what we do. Me, I'm more like just full throttle. Like just give me something, I'm gonna conquer it, and I'm gonna move on. Like then give me the next thing. So for me to, I'm not a repetitive skater. So like for me to go and like let me do a soul grind 100 times today, and let me go do a top soul 100 times today. Let me go, you know, practice my tricks over and over, so that when it's time to go lace my line, I'm like shika shika ba ba ba, right? Like I'm not that way. So like, you know, either I got lucky in my contest career and landed everything and then placed well and was up on the podium, or I just, you know, I was bleeding and on the side, you know, not in the mix.
Yeah.
You know, but whatever. I knew the importance of what the contest was bringing, though.
Sure.
And
getting
like,
eyes on the sport.
and getting the eyes onto the sport. And I think like a lot of us did, you know, and most of us were that way. Like Tom Fry, me and Tom like weren't like, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass, Tom, right? And like, and same with Arlo. Like, I mean, we were all just skating together. And I think we knew what we were trying to portray, and like, and what it would, what the benefits of that was going to be of a nationally televised series, and you know, and then the hero making, and like, you know, like the cultural like significance of it. So everyone jumped in, whether we liked it or not. You know?
NIS was nationally televised.
Yes, yeah, sponsored by Taco Bell, so it was big.
So that's so like, for people to get that these days, it seems like so far, because I remember seeing it on TV and on like,
it was huge.
Yeah.
And then that's what like led into the X Games, which we'll do on the next segment. But but that's like what that was the culmination there. So like all of this hard work from taking us underground and like and well, first we were in true discovery mode, right?
Right.
So we were in true discovery mode as we're you know, riding for rollerblade and doing all this dancey dance stuff and shows and demos and commercials and all this stuff to like just like get people on skates, to like, okay, now we're a little more focused. Now we got this badass movie, so now we got Dare to Air, we got you know, Income Senate, Birth, Daily Bread, like, so there's some movement here. We're starting to like focus in to like, okay, you know what, guys, we got something here, man. We got something here.
Yeah.
Now rollerblades got our attention, so that like boom comes the tarmac, and then boom comes the first world championships. Like it was like like it
everything
finally
coming
came.
in
So
order.
like all these years, like leading up to that '93 like moment, and then pushing us into '94's like it was awesome. It was awesome. It was really an incredible thing to be involved with. You know what I mean? Like, I think like rarely do you get to does anyone really get to be in that kind of driving seat, man? Like, there was literally nothing before us.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like still trips me the heck out, man. Like that they're just, we were there like at the very beginning of this thing, like the seed.
Yeah, contests are huge too, because you get to contests, like part of the reason why you push the limits of your sport, because everyone's trying to compete with each other and trying to be better than this person. It's like a quick way to progress the sport, and you yourself as a skater do better. Yeah. Like, were you seeing that as well? Like how much the level of skating advanced? Because there was a time in the 90s where if you watch a video from like 95 and then you watch from 96, like completely different levels of skating. It progressed so much so quickly.
It did, and then because of the you know, national television, and then ultimately world television, right? It just like got so many people in. And then, so then now you got like, you know, hot spots and like crews of people skating, so that it wasn't just like where you show up to the contest and you're pushing yourself at the contest. Now all of a sudden you got like 30, 40 dudes like hanging out at the skate park with you and like pushing each other there. So like the constant, like it just started like multiplying and creating this like mayhem, you know, which like just overtook the globe come 95, 96, like, you know, when we tune in on the next episode.
There's still some stuff I want to ask you about these early years, specifically about the technological advancements of the skates that have changed like the way people were skating. before I do, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors for the episode. I want to shout out Intuition Skate Shop. Check out the new shirts that they just put out. The Derek Henderson shirt, the As Fate Would Have It, and the Can Skate. Shout out to Zella Health. You got the vitamins here.
Nice.
And you get 20% off if you go there and with code JumpStreet. And also the Chris Edwards Foundation. 50% of the super chats of this episode will be going to the Chris Edwards Foundation. It's an initiative with Apex Technical School to take kids specifically who skate, who come from broken homes, and teach them how to build homes and work in careers and get carpentry certifications and things of that nature. So that's a very cool initiative as well. We're going to be going deeply into that on the third segment. But
there's links to all this stuff.
We
too
also have
in the
links of
description.
all of this to the description, so please check that out.
Intuition, Zella Health, Chris Edwards
Intuition,
Foundation,
Zella
Thanks,
Health,
guys.
all that
Chris
stuff's in
Edwards
the description.
Foundation.
Go check it out
Check it
after
out.
you're done watching this episode, of course.
Yes.
Nah, man,
And
your support's huge.
no, and
Together we can do great things, man.
Yeah.
and thank you for joining us, because it's it's really cool what you're doing. And
Thank you.
but I want to talk real quick about the technological advancements of the skates, because like we saw in the video you posted on Instagram, the November 21st, 1991, when you were grinding, you had these really big wheels.
Yeah.
And you were telling me somewhere along the way how the mini wheel or the anti-rocker wheel was created, about using a skateboard wheel and trying to like smush it into
Yeah,
the
I never heard
frame,
this
and
story.
and also
Okay.
how the grind plates were
Right.
created, because I think like these advancements like took a huge step to
this is huge.
how things could change.
Of course. Okay, so here's the most amazing thing. Okay, that Doug Boyce had an engineered drawing of the perfect skate, and the skate looks like the skates we ride today, right? He already had the concept, already had the vision of what a skate was going to look like. So like in my like mission for Doug, because Doug was like he's a badass dude, and he unfortunately suffered a broken ankle and then was never able to skate the same again back then. So like it was then he then really like embraced me and kind of vicariously like lived through me, right? Like and like made me into what he saw was gonna be, So I mean, I have to pay respect to him, and he had this drawing of the skates that we're all riding today, man, with like bigger, 60s with the gap and and through, I mean, we'll talk about it as we move on, but like I did the CE Hermes, all right, like which is like the god of speed, and that skate was exactly what he had designed. I finally made it there, and at the time, it just like nobody was. I guess.
Wait, this is a skate that you made that never came out?
Yeah, with rollerblade. No, it came out. It just didn't sell very well. So then that was kind of it. Like I think it was just like Doug's skate was just too far ahead of its time.
So basically, like Doug back in the day drew something like is kind of similar to the aggressive model we have now that were not around back then.
Right.
And
then
years later, it came to be.
I finally pulled it off
Yeah.
with rollerblade, but the culture wasn't quite ready for it. Because we had to digress. Okay, we had to digress in order to make it work. So we had to, Justy and the group, right? The group. We'll just call us the group. Okay. Always brainstorming about like how can we do like create some gaps here. It's cool that we slid down, but it would be cool if we could grind. So then we were very limited, okay? Because like at the time, rollerblades controlling the market. There's not like I'm gonna go get a frame company, right? Like and I'm gonna create my own mold, my own frame. Like that wasn't available to any of us. And at the time, to even think about that was like 6-figure plus, it just like monetarily out of our reach. And so we were forced to modify a recreational frame. So we were forced to take the Lightning and turn it in and figure out how to make the Lightning work for us. All right, like we had to get that Lightning and like turn it into the tarmac.
Right.
Okay. So we brainstormed about the little wheels, and Jess is like, I really think the little wheels are gonna work. Like, all right, Jess, let's give it a go, man. I go home and I go to my local skateboard shop, and then I find these little skateboard wheels. Like it's weird. The skateboarding community went really little for some reason. Okay, like their wheels got like really little, like 40s, like crazy small.
Really?
Like, yeah, and then and at the same time they got
Talking to the mic. Yeah.
they got sorry they got thinner too.
They were. Yeah, I was wondering that because the
so they
skateboard
got
wheels are
weirdly
fatter than
thinner.
rollerblade wheels.
Yeah, so then they magically fit. Like I mean,
So they were riding like skateboard wheels, like riding like what would be a natural mini wheel.
yeah,
size
like
at one
little
point?
like 48s, like
Wow.
like really small wheels,
Huh.
right? But because they were riding them like that, and then squeeze them down this way, they were able to fit in our skates. So then I was able to like throw them in and then go grind. Like there, all of a sudden there was a gap, right?
That opened up a whole new world.
So I did,
probably.
it was all flat. I went all flat. Like I'm an all flat rider. So like Arlo's the one that brought in would utilize the smaller wheels like that, and then experiment.
Oh, you're
with
riding
the bigger,
flat on like 47s or
yeah,
something?
yeah, like a lot of the dare. So I used to have like two pairs of skates.
That's
I would
crazy.
I used to have two pairs of skates. I'd have my vert skates, you know, or my go big skates, right? If I just needed to haul ass, and then I'd have my let's go grind skates, right? So I do street rails and like grind tricks and things like that with my second pair of skates. So, which is funny because when I first met Arlo, we were just talking about this the other night together. We had a great conversation with Arlo. It was awesome to catch up with him. But we were BSing about. I remember the first time I met you, Arlo. You know, like, and we were in Texas and. We were at Arlo's park, so Arlo was killing it, and I remember like kind of chasing him around, like, you know, and then he did this awesome like transfer from one of the mini ramps up and over this rail and into this bowl, and I was like, whoa, that was hard. So like I kind of went up and after him, like meeting somebody who challenged you back then was like. Far and few between, right?
Yeah.
It was like the first time I met Tom Fry when I went to Australia. It was like, this dude. Right, like awesome, and I'd heard stories about Tom Fry because Jess and Angie went to Australia before I got to go there, and when they came back, they're like, "Wait till you meet this dude, Tom Fry. He's doing some really cool stuff, Chris. When you get to skate with him, he's gonna push you, and you're gonna love him."
Sick.
Right? I'm like, so when I met Tom Fry, I was like, "Yeah, man, he lived up to the hype. Like, that's the Tom Fry, bro.
That's dope.
Yeah. So like, it was awesome to like skate with Tom Fry and feed off of him, right? And then the same energy I got when I met Arlo, like, because Arlo was like a go-getter, dude. Like, and it's like. And so chasing him around, you know, it was like dueling banjo, right? So like we're going bang, 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 and then I remember I pulled out my second pair of skates. It was time to silence them.
Yeah.
The little wheels.
This would probably be the last time I actually like won a competition with Arlo, okay? Because then he would kick my ass in this street, but I won this one because I pulled out my second pair of skates.
You had the technology.
Yeah. And then I
Secret weapon.
I started like grinding around. He's just like, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that moment though was like really motivated him, you know. And then he comes moving out to California, and then he really like he probably like has done the most for the like that grinding element of what we do, you know, because then he was like his brain, the way his brain ticks. Like I had to do was staying with like the modifications, right? So I had to build something to protect the frame because at first I put them on. Put the little wheels on, go out, curb, like, and then snap, frame gone. Like, oh, crap. Like, I mean, thank God I was sponsored by Rollerblade, but like I remember having to call Rollerblade up and go, I know this is a really odd request, and I'm really sorry to make this request, but I need you to send me like a half a dozen to a dozen pairs of skates, please, because I'm trying something. So just send me skates.
Half a dozen to a dozen skates.
Yeah. Which for them at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
I mean,
so I'm like,
multi-billion-dollar industry.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, please, like, send me a half a dozen to a dozen pairs of skates so I can figure some crap out. Because I'm snapping the shit out of your frames right now. They're like, you're doing what? I'm like, yeah, I'm breaking your shit. Like I'm got to figure some stuff out. And so I went to my brain is just like still more like, you know, like skateboardy biker brain, right? And so I'm thinking like metal, like we gotta grind. It's gonna be metal, like a metal truck or a bike
like a
peg,
truck,
right? Like so, like let's grind this shit. So I go and find a joist hanger if you're for a 2x4, right? So it's like kind of U-shaped, right? And then it's like,
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, man, I think I can probably make that work. So I like slap it up underneath there, and I make a couple little cuts and a couple drill holes, and fucking
Hammering away.
Yeah, hammering away at that thing, man. And I've got it in there. Okay, it's awesome, man. It's on, ready to go. Let's give this a go, man. Then I didn't break another frame since I did that, right? So then I was like, all right, now it's time to go put it to the test. That thing was fast as hell, bro. It was just like, you get up on the rail, and then like you're like your rail's round, and you're just flat, so you're just right on the freaking very tip.
And no groove, right? Yeah, no groove.
Yeah, no groove, man. I ended up letting my back skate groove out a little bit, so it'd be my brake, because I come in with my power foot. Because we're stuck at front sides and back sides, right?
Right.
We've got to progress past that. So just a front side back then was just like, oh my God,
so much
dude's
faster
on a rail,
yeah.
Go, like like that was the coolest trick you've ever seen in your life at that time, right? So I'm just like, and I could release my back leg if I wanted to like light it up a little bit more. Like you watch some of those rails I did in Dare to Air, man, I'm freaking hauling ass down.
Yeah, you're going fast as shit.
Yeah, like just screaming down them. Yeah. And I'd pick steep ones too, because
you always have big ass rails
bro.
too.
Like,
Yeah,
let's get down them. Barrel down.
Let's get down them.
There was no thought of I need to be able to bam do the beautiful art that's being performed today. Which is just absolutely mind blowing. But
well, no, you
back
were just
then
like a
it
stunt
was just
guy.
like let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it because it's never been done before.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Well, that became like the H plate, right? Is that what you called it?
So then
the H plate.
Yes, it was the H plate. Yeah. And then Arlo was just like, Edwards is loco, everybody, so don't listen to what Edwards is doing. Yeah. Because he's crazy. And you're probably not going to want to do what he's doing because you're not going to be able to control it. Check out what I'm doing. I'm taking the wrenches from the boxes, I'm putting them on, I'm giving a nice little groove in my thing, and I'm wearing it, and the wrench is keeping the frame from breaking, and now everybody's got a nice groove, and it'll lock onto the rail nice, and you'll be able to really sit on it and feel it and do it. So Arlo brought us that ingenuity, right? Like that more of that ingenuity, which then would turn into an H block that went up in and replaced my wildness idea of an H plate. Then everybody stay on the surface, right?
Yeah.
So.
It's funny that actually makes sense because when I came into skating, there were grind plates, but they were plastic ones.
Yes.
And then we stopped using that at some point. It was like, oh, we never really needed those. But to know that the original function was to not break the frame because the frames were hollow in between the boot and the frame. There was space there. So if you got it past a certain point, it would break.
Yeah, it's over.
And that makes perfect sense to have the frame there, so it just stops the wear on the plastic.
And so that little wrench,
that's a really good idea.
It is a really good idea. Well, I mean that's why Arlo's Arlo.
I mean
right?
that H plate's a good one as well.
No, the H plate was great too. It was just
ideas.
the H plate though was untamable, right? It was the difference between riding bareback and then riding with a saddle. So Arlo brought us a saddle. I'm the idiot that just jumped on it bareback and said, "Woo, let's go!"
Hey man,
right?
There's a need for both.
Arlo, right? But but of course, and we all feed off of each other, and that's the beauty of what we do. We're all family, man. We're all friends. We're all rollerbladers, and that's what's made this culture so beautiful. Through its ups and downs, is that those who love it not only love skating, but we love one another, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
it's a great culture. It's a great community.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh man, you couldn't be more proud, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, silly if you can't be proud that you're a rollerblader.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're here to stay.
For sure.
Yeah, we're good people. We're good people, and we got a badass sport. And a lot of people have put a lot of sweat and tears in the past 30+ years.
Yeah.
Damn,
you forget it's that long until you think about it.
No, that's 5 years, bro. It was I'm 25 now, so in the last 5 years.
Got to stay young with that mentality.
Crap, man.
But 35 years.
About to be 50. Yeah. 35 years, bro. 35 years of it.
Inline skating. What do you call it, by the way?
Yeah. I think that's been the hardest thing for us.
I think it is too.
It really is. I think that's been our biggest challenge to overcome, because you say that you're a skater and everyone's like, oh, you skateboard?
Skateboard, right.
Right? Skateboarding totally claims skater.
Right.
And skate. And then you say inline, and it just is
It's not that cool.
Kind of lame.
Yeah, because it is skating.
Yeah, it is.
It's skating.
Right. So then,
Inline is just a
now you got to
distinction.
put inline skating,
sure.
so that you can make the difference.
Sure.
And then we can't say rollerblading because rollerblade
they
is
own it.
Rollerblade Incorporated. You know, so I got to blow my nose with the tissue rather than a Kleenex. And so then now what do? And so then you can't call it blading because then rollerblades come at you again.
What do you think?
I think that we are freestyle rollers, man. We're just we're rolling, we freestyle, and we just express ourselves through our skates. And I think rolling is probably the one that seems also culturally have been used a lot.
Yeah.
That if I was to embrace a term for us, I would say that we're freestyle rollers. Let's just roll along. Let's roll.
Someone try that.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
someone try that.
I like skating, freestyle skating
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
I also don't hate inline, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But freestyle rolling, I hear that too. We need a commission. We need a board of commissions
maybe we
should
to
build one.
sit down.
Yeah.
And we got to vote on
It's
this.
been 30 whatever years. We
The only way that we're gonna be able to build this is if we bring Michael Palak, the coach, in.
Okay.
Then he will
Bring the coach in.
Bring the coach in. Everyone gather. Coach, we need you, Palak. We need you over here. We have a serious issue we gotta take care of. We need some guidance.
Yes. He'll lay down the law, the enforcer.
Oh, Palak always does.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to have Opalak on the show.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah. I
Love that dude.
Love him.
Um,
What about the start of Birth?
Right.
Because that was the first clothing brand blade company?
Yeah, I guess we could probably claim that.
Yeah.
Because that was part of the group effort of building a culture. So what's a culture without music, without art, without clothing, and without
fashion or whatever?
Yeah, right. Then it's no culture at all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just talking skating. So, and I think that's what has really made rollerblading great. It's what makes skateboarding great. It's what makes these action sports great is because there's all these amazing musicians and artists and designers that just happen to skateboard, right? Or happen to, in our case, happen to rollerblade, right? So we as a community need to be more cognizant of accepting that and and pushing that and embracing that element of who and what we are because there's great ones. There's great ones, including like Jeremy Bidle, bro.
Yeah.
Get out of here, dude. Can't mess with that dude.
No, there's so much
Not
talent.
only can you not literally mess with him because he's 6'8",
Yeah.
and just
Just gnarly,
but you can't mess.
You can't mess with his art as well.
you
But I know what you mean. I think skateboarding did a really good job with cross marketing, with other people who are talented within their industry, whether it be in art or music or whatever, and then having that infiltrate those genres, specifically punk in the 80s. They did a real good job in kind of making that collaboration between that. But I see a lot of people in blading starting to go that own way too. There's people like Dylan Cooper in the rapping.
Oh, Dylan Cooper's awesome.
And then there's people in the photography world, film world, art world too, are still tied very closely to the blade community. And it's just I think the talent in the community is really it's amazing.
Yeah, it's real, man.
It's really real.
You took it upon yourself to start Birth just to help give us
a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it did what it did or just to give us a brand. And then we've been able to do some good stuff with it, through the years. Created some tours, sponsored some guys, made some clothing, and been able to do some awesome stuff, man.
Who was on the Birth team back in the day?
I'm not sure. I need to.
You can't remember offhand?
Well, it would have been Arlo and Tom Fry and all those guys. So, but
It's just legends.
yeah, legends. I have to take a break so I got to relieve myself.
Okay. All right.
Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to finish this.
No, it's okay.
I'm not orthodox, man, but when your hands
Do it.
Yeah, the man's got to go.
He's getting up there. He got to take his bathroom breaks.
I mean, 35 years of skating.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, wow.
People are loving this, by the way. We have 250 people watching us. Thank
Amazing.
you, everybody, for watching and all the super chatters. Thank you so much. We're going to open up for, maybe when he comes back, we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, I think when he comes back, we'll open it up for questions. So I guess now we'll just take the opportunity to thank our sponsors again and talk really briefly about the Chris Edwards Foundation.
Yeah,
Once again, thank you to Intuition Skate Shop. Intuition Skate Shop is the world's local skate shop since 2000. 2 decades of blade, brick, and mortar without borders. Got some new shirts, the Derek Henderson, the Can't Skate, the Skeleton doing the soul grind, and the As Fate Would Have It. These exclusive shirts were hand-drawn by iconic blade artist Jeremy Baytall and are available in sizes extra small to XXL. And Mick's signature captain's hat. Every day is a cruise in your captain's hat. Shout out Intuition Skate Shop.
We should have had Mickey just record a video of him saying that to
Yeah.
have it come on or something like that.
I think it's more fun for me to say it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
No, it's so fun. Also want to shout out our second sponsor, Zella Health, which is a fellow Blader-owned health brand, providing supplements to help us, get through our everyday stuff and skating for people with joint problems. Check out the turmeric and ginger capsules for inflammation with your knees, your joints, all that stuff. We're all going through these struggles. So check out Zella Health, and you'll get 20% off with code JumpStreet. The link is in the description.
And also, we're going to be opening up for questions soon. We are going to be prioritizing. We have a lot of people joining us. It's going to be tough to get to a lot of the questions, so we are going to be prioritizing the Super Chats. Half of our Super Chats go to the Chris Edwards Foundation. It's an initiative in partnership with Apex Technical School in order to take kids who skate, aiming from ages 18 to 24, get them kids from broken homes, rough families, get them to learn how to build homes and be certified, get a career, get a certification, have a job. So not only are they skating and building this connection through the skate industry and these connections that they're going to have through the community and friends, but they're developing career skills for themselves as well. So that's going to be the Chris Edwards Foundation. We're going to go more deeply into that in episode 3, part 3 of this, but that's where the Super Chats will be going. Those will be the questions we are prioritizing because we have so many people joining us. And Austin, would you like to shout out the Super Chats that we've received?
Yes, we have a ton
far?
of Super Chatters so far. Cool. Of course, Chad Hornish, you got to shout out Chad Hornish with his multiple 99-cent Super Chats. Very reliable guy. Corey English, Russell Mason, Sean Michelson. Thank you, Sean. You're a loyal Jump Street donor and watcher. Shane Cole, Older Bladers, Neil Owen, Tim Booning, George Lima, Corey English, Cyrus09. We have Michaela Petrosky, Fresh Media. I think that's could be Richard. He's a big shout out Jump Street for this, as well as Chris Edwards, the godfather of blading.
What's up? What's up?
So big shout out to Richard. If you haven't checked out his episode, go back in the archives, check out the episode with Richard Johnson.
Richard's the man.
Yes.
Jalen, she's killing it.
Mr. Brown's Goldies, John Schmidt, and Neil Owen. Thank you guys all so much. And like Billy said before, we're going to be open up to questions. So if you super chat us with a question, we're going to prioritize the super chats. Or if not, at least at Jump Street Podcast, so your question pops up.
Yes, and before we get into the questions, because I know Austin will need a second to kind of line some of these up, we have a few things to talk about. But after the, we're going to switch into 95 in part 2. But before that,
and hopefully I don't have to use the restroom during that one.
Right, it's okay.
Life's real.
We've had
get
guests.
You a little bucket on the
We've
table.
had guests.
Give me the catheter. We'll be good on episode 2. We'll get me hooked up.
But this, it's funny because my first pair of, other than my hand-me-down hockey skates that weren't aggressive at all, my first pair of skates that were meant to be aggressive were a derivation of the Tarmac, which were the chocolate and the Trooper. So that came after the Tarmac, the chocolates and the Troopers. And what was it like designing those? And that was such a huge skate as well. That was hugely popular when I was a kid.
Yeah. That came out. Those came out in '95. So that was just kind of like the evolution of the Tarmac. But we're still trapped to the recreational market, right? And it's still kind of trapped on a lightning skate. So we'd yet to be able to really handcraft a skate from start to finish. So we were able to kind of like the Tarmac, all the Tarmac was the significance of the Tarmac is that my initials got on it for the sake of all of us, right? Yeah. So us pushing to get my initials on was because we knew that this would be great for everybody down the line.
I hope you got a royalty as well.
Yeah, I got a small one. Of course I was young and dumb and probably didn't, but whatever, and so then. the chocolates and the troopers was okay. They saw that the tarmac did really well, so then they produced more tarmacs, and then they're like, okay, well, we can probably do a little more modifications. I had them cut down the cuffs so that you could get a little more of a rollover for your soles and royales. So I cut the inside of the cuffs down, and they custom did a liner for it. We put the little buckle bumpers. All right, so that because everyone was starting to learn soul grinds and everything. Then so like every time you'd miss and you're just blowing buckles left and right. Buckles were just like
and like sliding down ramps too, I guess, right?
A little bit, but really that soul was like is the soul variations going there and missing a soul, like you're just striking down on stuff, especially ledges and stuff. So as soon as that boot slid, bang, hit that buckle right, buckle gone.
Yeah.
So then we made a little buckle bumper, hoping that it would like whoop whoop and like shoot you past it. So and that still was like a design in our stuff today,
it's just so funny how like the practicality of how all these things are developed. You know, just like that would take off the buckle, put something there,
right.
It just becomes a permanent
extension
of the
extension of us.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Yeah.
That's because we stack on each other, Yeah. So and then we that was really the biggest like innovation of that skate, like as much innovation as we were given the opportunity to do would have been the buckle bumper and the and then the cut down cuff. So that was what made that different than the tarmac. But then that year I'm also have moved from California in '95 to Minneapolis and working on the Daytona, and the Daytona was from scratch. So we got to like build the first, this is where I would say the Daytona is the first aggressive freestyle rolling skate on the market. It was the first time that you could pull that skate out of a box and just go.
I know we're going to pick up on that starting part 2, but that was like the first.
That was the first.
Like made for.
Hand from start to finish.
Made for
like,
aggressive.
Yes, like build the frame. I want the frame to look like this. I want the boot to have a little slot for a Royale. Like let's see where the boot goes. Where's that little slot so that the boot will catch as well and it'll line up nice and even with the frame. Like there was a little bit of
hang on to more of that.
Yeah, a little
stuff.
bit of strategy.
Because I'm sure there's more into that.
Okay, well, I think because that's where we're going to start the 95 in the beginning of our next episode, I think we could right now switch it to questions, and we'll leave that to our part 2 of this episode, which, by the way, part 2 of this series is going to be tonight.
If you're watching live.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
5 p.m. California time. And if I'm not mistaken, in Europe, that would be past your bedtime, which would be around 2 a.m. But you could check
past
that
your
out.
bedtime o'clock.
Yeah.
You're always allowed to set your alarm, wake up for a minute, and
that's it.
Go right back to bed.
Exactly. This one's worth it because we're going through like the.
Oh, we're gonna talk about some hoax.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about
hoax and everything.
Oh man, there's a whole bunch that started popping in '95.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna we'll talk a little bit of X Games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the Daytona and then all the crazy madness of the ESPN years, what I like to call it.
For sure.
We'll call it,
The ESPN.
ESPN.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm actually going to get to my phone, too, so I can try to help you with some of these questions.
First question is from That Mountain. He says, or she says, Chris, I remember reading in Daily Bread that you were a preacher of some kind. Did religion play a part in your skating? Was faith a hindrance to your skating or vice versa?
Yeah, I was, because I think my like I had shared at the beginning of this story that my father was an evangelist and a preacher. But when we moved back to Escondido, then as a Christian term would be that he backslid pretty hard and like started diving into the wrong end of the spectrum, to be polite.
No pun intended.
Yeah. So I then was like, as a preacher's kid, I used to like smuggle like a Motley Crue shirt to school, because I wasn't allowed to wear it, so I'd have to smuggle it in my backpack, put it on so I could be cool, and then take it off to get home so I didn't get my ass whooped.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but when he went the other direction, and I saw my whole family crumbling, then I was like, Jesus is way better than this. And I think that I'm going to dip into that for a second, because it's a hell of a lot better than what I'm seeing now. So I dove head first, and I believe in a higher power, and I believe that this is so much bigger than any one of us, right? Like everything. Like it's just like, so I don't want to be over the top religious and dogmatic anymore in my faith, but I have faith, and my faith has carried me through many trials and tribulations.
That's rad. That's really cool. Yeah, thank you for such a good answer. Kevin Dugard says, any advice you'd like to give to newcomers?
Yeah, Kevin, let's look at, man, don't be discouraged. You're probably gonna, like, when you're first starting out, man, just throw some pads on, because you're gonna spend more time on your knees, hands, and ass than you've ever spent in your life. All right, but battle through that, and then just learn to, like, find that love of the skates, and then before you know it, you get really comfortable, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I don't need my elbow pads anymore, and you'll, like, transition yourself out into, like, a total comfort. I'm an old dude. I never got rid of my knee pads. I've done knee pads like my entire career. I never not wore knee pads, but I'm also from the older generation where we wore full gear. Right, and and on a vert ramp, I always wore full. You have to, like, when a vert ramp's like, it's a freaking, you're going into the octagon. To ride vert, like, it's an octagon event, dude.
You're fighting.
And nobody.
It's an octagon event.
It's an octagon event, bro. It's Royal Rumble time. It's you versus that freaking massive freaking ramp.
It's no show.
You pull out just a tiny bit on a vert ramp, and you're shooting a 6, 7, 8 foot high air, or a 6, 7 foot McTwist or 540, and you pull out, like, you didn't line yourself up, and you pull out. You now are looking at a 15 plus. And in some cases, almost a 20-foot drop. If you were to get yourself to flat bottom, it is a battle royale event. And if you don't respect vert, then that's probably because you can't ride it, and because you can't comprehend it.
That's
true. And then if you would just look at yourself and go, you know what? I can't ride it. I can't comprehend it. Then you probably better look in the mirror and say, damn it, I better respect it.
Yeah. You gotta respect vert.
Oh yeah,
you gotta
respect vert, dude. It's the Royal Rumble of all of action sports.
I know my boy Miguel Ramos is looking at this smiling right now.
He's like, vert's easy.
No, Miguel's like, yo, he's right. And you know what? Because Miguel and Michelle have a nice vert at their place, and man,
Miguel's the dude, man.
He's the dude, and
Michelle,
vert is
that's
real.
Great. It's real, bro.
It's real.
It's real, man.
It's real.
And it's really hard to, like, make look good too, man. Takes a while. Like the patience you have to have on vert to get to a point where you can actually, like, start, like, lacing some stuff. It takes a lot longer than just going out on the street. On the street you can pick yourself up. You're like, oh cool, I found a little rail. The rail's like only a foot off the ground, and, like, you can start, like, feeling like you're progressing. You're doing something. Man, you're just constantly in the boring shape of a U, and have to battle through so much discipline and practice to finally get to the point where, like, you're doing incredible things like Cesar Mora and Manuel Billerus and Nell Martin and the Yasadoko.
Yeah, Tim Ward.
Yeah, that's insane what they do.
Get out of here.
Insane what they do.
Get out of here, dude. Try to disrespect that.
No, I think anyone agrees who's ever dropped in on a vert ramp, you have to respect the beast.
Or just stand on a vert ramp. When you stand and look down, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, your sphincter puckers.
That's a pretty good way to put it. I agree. We got another question from my cousin Jay O'Neill.
Yeah,
what's up, Jay?
That's like your brother Jay O'Neill.
That's cousin Jay. He said, "How are the joints and bones been able to skate lately?"
I've maintained. I know that I've been I've been working on Pittsburgh Project Wrestlers, taking care of my family, building a contracting company for the past decade. It was just a love that was inside of me that I couldn't.
Pittsburgh Project Wrestlers?
Yeah, we wrestle. Like, if your house is, like, giving you problems, I come in, I wrestle it, I pin it, and I make it look beautiful.
Nice.
All right. So there was just this passion inside of me that my hands needed to like let out of me before I could, like, probably, like, before I could be where I'm at right now, where I'm, like, confident sitting here with you guys and have a path that I know that I'm on, that I have faith and confidence where we're going right now. So I needed to get this out of me, and I was able to build all kinds of great things, with the company, and now we're going to be able to marry. That's why we're going to marry this now. The love of rollerblading, which is my true love, my true passion is rollerblading. But now I have this awesome a secondary art form within me that I got to express, and I've flipped major homes here in Pittsburgh, man, gutted them and built the whole thing, because I only go 100 miles an hour, so I was I can do this, and I did it, and so now I'm going to be able to take those that had a struggling home life that I had, I'm that kid. So now we can be here, dude, let me teach you how to swing a hammer. You're gonna learn, you're gonna get a career, you're gonna be able to do some badass stuff and build a cool home with us, and then build your own home and have a career outside of rollerblading, because it's less than a 1% club that actually makes it and gets your name on the skate, So
and
it doesn't make you ungreat, it doesn't make you unequal, it doesn't make you but if you're a rollerblader, then we're all one and the same, whether your name's on the skate or not. We're all one and the same, and that was a representation of the Tarmac CE. CE stood for us, so it might as well be the Tarmac US, right? Us.
Yeah, I like that. Very cool.
But did I not answer the question?
No, but also there'll be. I think Angie got the next question, but at the end, ultimately, they'll be certified, right?
Yeah, well, they'll be able to go get a job at anywhere they live. They can stay here. They can intern with my company. We'll even offer employment, and then, or they'll be able to take these skills back home and go call a construction company and say, hey, man, I've got some pretty decent carpentry skills, and get onto a crew and, and then continue to learn more and more. And then, the construction field right now is really thirsty for some young talent. I guess it's become kind of an old dude's game. All of the youth is kind of run to tech, and there's over the top tech. So then the trades and the blue collar, the rough and tough get her done is needing some dudes. Yeah. And when there's a demand like that, this is going to be a nice, solid paying career for everybody.
Very cool.
You know what I'm saying? So we want to teach them, man. Just come on out, man. I'll teach you how to put in build a shower from scratch, and and build an entire bathroom, a whole kitchen. Let's do it.
Very cool.
And then let's go skate together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll love rollerblading. We'll get you a job. We'll teach you some skills, and then continue to grow the family.
Rad. I really want to get more into that. We have a few questions.
There's
we have
plenty
a few
of
questions lined up, but I really want to dig into that so we can explain to people exactly what it means.
That's number 3, right?
Yes, but but that's an awesome initiative. No, for real. And
thank you.
I think that's what skating needs, because I know a lot of people who even pro skaters that had spent a lot of time chasing this dream. When they were done,
where did they go?
There was nowhere to go. So I think it's important to really embed those skills in people and within our community, and to share that knowledge. Yeah. So I commend that, and I think that's great, and I can't wait to go more in depth into that.
Yeah, and everyone's support is greatly appreciated, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure.
Somewhat along those lines, we have a giveaway also, or a number of giveaways, which we haven't mentioned yet on the show.
Yeah.
So I think we have other questions here to get to, but let's get this giveaway out there so that people could, focus on this, because this is a huge giveaway. Chris is giving away 3 pairs of them skates and 3 pairs of Caltech skates.
Yeah. Well,
kid skates.
I'm not.
Okay. So
John Julio is.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So, Our initiative is to concentrate on the 12 and under market, and just embrace our legends. Yeah. So as hopefully you've seen now the lightning bolt and thunder of what birth. We're bringing birth back, but we're bringing birth back just to really just be there for the 12 and under market. Right. And then by embracing our legends, we're able to tell the story and our history through such, super stoked. Arlo's donated in the Arlo Street that we made with Birth in 1993, so you can buy the Arlo Street shirt, which is it's cool. So that's where we're kind of going with it,
But the giveaway specified the parents and the kid. So
because we're on this,
because I love this idea.
I love this idea.
So because we're gonna stay in our lane, totally respect John Julio and them skates. I just love that he's 100% skater owned. Right. But we don't in any way, in our mission, what we're doing, want to get in the way of his marketing, of his riders. Alex Broskow's amazing. I'm not. Right. That's not our intentions whatsoever. We want to do some cool collaborations at times, and me personally, I love John Julio and I want to rock rock them skates. So it's that simple.
Yeah.
But our main focus is we've teamed up with Celtic because they're a 100% skater-owned company out of Ireland, right? And but this dude for the last 18 years, man, has just been focusing on a little kid's skate, right? Like that, he just put his energy there, right? He just like ignored everything else and was like, I'm gonna make a little kid skate. I'm gonna make a little kid skate so awesome that it's just gonna be. And he did. It's incredible. Like when I saw the skate and I saw my son skate on it for the first time, and I posted that edit, man, that was my son's first time on skates in a skate park, and the skates held him like that tight and gave him that much confidence that I have to believe in that product. And the fact that it's 100% skater owned, that's where I'm going. That's what we started. Right. You know, so I'm going to finish what we started. We're going skater owned. So you know, so of course I support John Julio. I support Frankie Morales, and you know, they're right. So if you're, of course we support the brotherhood
for sure. And specifically with the giveaway, it's going to be 3 sets of skates, right? It's going to be, you have 3 pairs of them skates, and then there's 3 pairs of Celtic kids skates.
Yes, the Thunder. You're going to get the new Thunder.
They're going out. They're going out in pairs. And we're so it's
because we want to encourage parents to go out there and skate with their kids.
Right.
That's our main thing. So if you look at if you peek at our website and everything, you're gonna see all these like funny stuff, like meet Little Destroyer, and then like your kid wears the shirt that says Little Destroyer.
Right. Sure.
Like it's family fun, right? Sure. Just family fun, but like tough family fun. Yeah. We're gonna empower the kids. Like, dude, how can you like dude, we have Jaron Grove and the Little Monster, dude. Like, give me a break. All right, Rashard and Jay Lynn, like, come on, man, the Shredders, like you know, and we're bringing in Vinny and his kids, Vinny Mitten and so Vinny and the Vandals. So look out.
So quickly, I just want to get this contest out there.
So we're gonna give away.
I just want to get this contest out there. I got it. That's okay. Just because I want to get the rules out there, right? Yeah. So this contest, in order to win this pair of skates, it's going to be a parent and their kid skating. You submit the clips.
Just post it on Instagram.
You post it on Instagram with the hashtag TBS Thunder, the birth skate Thunder, right? So hashtag TBS Thunder. You have till January 15th. We're going to be looking at the hashtag, and we're going to be hand selecting the clips, and the one with the parent and the kid skating that we like. We're going to send out a pair of skates to those parents and a pair of skates to that kid, and we have 3 different sets to send away with that.
Yes, so three families are going to get picked, or you know, give me the daughter mom, the daughter son, father. It doesn't matter. We need a parent and a kid doing something on. And if you check out like the Monsters stuff, you know, with Jared and his kid, they're doing these awesome, cool over under stuff. So like, you know, have fun with it. Yeah. Let's see who can throw down.
Yeah.
All right, as a family, you know.
That's great.
Bring the thunder.
I love that idea.
Bring the thunder.
Yeah.
And also, you have to tag and follow Birth Legacy on Instagram, Chris's account, CE Circa 1986, and Jump Street Podcast. So those are the criteria.
So the criteria is Chris's account at CE Circa 1986, at Jump Street Podcast,
at Birth Legacy,
hashtag
TBS Thunder,
hashtag TBS Thunder.
Deadline January 15th. Okay. Thank you very much for that. We have so many questions. Yes.
And we have to get cracking away. So go ahead with Angie Bender.
We were trying to keep this pre-94, but Angie super chatted, Angie Bender, and a couple of people asked this too, so I guess we'll just get to this real quick. She said, Pierre asked, and I see also Sean Michelson asked, what's the story with the guy on the back of the rollerblade Dirks?
Yes.
Because I asked you something else about the Dirks yesterday. You said you didn't know. So
I don't know.
So, let's see.
Can't spill it all out at once.
Let's hear it.
Dirk was the engineer for rollerblade who did all of the like, you know, I'd give him ideas and then he would go in and engineer them. And like, it's like, you know, we need the wheel to kind of rotate and do some different things, like, you know, so that you can do a couple different setups. This would be really awesome if you could do this. So then Dirk would go and like and spit out the drawing and go like, you mean like this? Like, yeah, dude. Sick, just like that. And he was so dedicated to it and so excited about producing the first skate with us that we paid homage and named one of the skates that was after the Daytona line, the Dirk.
So did he help you make the tarmac then?
No, he wasn't there tarmac. He was there for Daytona.
Oh, he only did like that.
Yeah, he did the Daytona series, right?
Okay.
So Daytona was like my pro.
Oh, okay.
And then the way rollerblade used to work, it'd be like, okay, there's Chris's pro, but we can't give him too many royalties, so we'll make 6 other skates that look just like it and sell them for cheaper and not have to pay him.
Yeah. So I think what I asked you yesterday was whose actual face was on the wheels. So that's not Dirk, or that is Dirk?
I don't. You have to show me the wheels, man. I'm getting old, bro.
Okay. We'll
Show me the wheels, and I'll give you an
We'll
answer.
get back to everybody on that. It was a guy
Okay.
with big, thick black glasses.
I think that it probably was Dirk because he
Okay.
was like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. But
Yeah.
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 Who knows?
If it wasn't, it was probably meant to emulate or at least give you the expression.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, cool story.
We have a couple more super chat questions. Again, when these super chat questions end, we are going to end and save it to the next podcast, part 2. So if you have any last questions for this episode, specifically 1985 to 1994 in skating, or maybe even into 95 with Chris's stuff, we please encourage those. And again, all of that half of that money goes to the Chris Edwards Foundation. So Corey English asks, how much for some vert lessons? I'm trying to up my invert and camel toe game.
well, you know, man, if I could just come and roll with you, then I would just come and roll with you. But I think just watch, just take some. If you don't have anything fresh and new to watch, then like take some old stuff and watch, or combine both. Like just watch and see how the motions are, and then just like. Be comfortable doing it. Like really, when you roll up on vert to do an invert, you're gonna roll up and kind of let your legs lead you. So you're gonna commit to going down here as you're rolling up, and you're gonna commit to reaching down and letting your skates roll past you. So like you're gonna roll right up and over, and then you'll go over your hand. And the best ones to do it first is to kind of arc it. So then you can come, because then you can literally come on the side, set your hand there as you go, and then roll yourself over the top of your hand. And then as soon as you get that, then you can start doing like a legit invert where you're stalling that puppy out and just like stiff arming it.
That all sounds terrifying.
You know, and then camel toes and the Melvins, man. You know, that's a beast of its own. I really, man, just like. Thank you to everybody who's like doing that right now. I've been seeing some crazy clips, dude.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Camel toes are
dude,
nuts.
you guys are
What
awesome.
tips do you have for those?
Like
Those are
man,
insane.
forget about it.
Yeah.
Stephans are nasty, dude. Like get out of here.
They're called Stephans?
No, Stefan Brando's
Oh,
like
yeah.
camel toes, dude. That he's
yeah.
been like dropping,
Like,
dude.
on the street,
I'm
you
like,
mean?
get out of
Yeah,
here,
the one on
dude.
the
Yeah,
street.
and then someone like whatever. I threw that little a fishy to camel toe in my new thems, but then all of a sudden I see other kids dropping them already on the street and stuff. It's awesome. It's just awesome. It's a scary trick, dude.
It's never not going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're hanging. You're gonna hang them up. Like it's like I'm gonna hang them up and then get out of it. You know. So it's just like it's a really cool, funny feeling, right? You know, it's not the most glorious like long lasting sweet trick, but it's just like it's the last little like.
It's like a heart stopper.
Yeah,
like
just
for a second, your
give me a
heart
second.
skips a
It's,
beat.
it's cool to like interrupt the beautiful flow, right? That's what I like about it is because you'll come in all beautiful, like and then with no one expecting you go kick, 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 and then you're out, right?
Yeah.
Like, and there's this like last little like, and then it's like an and one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, that's that trick will never not be like the gnarliest thing.
No, it's gnarly.
Yeah.
Never.
That's not. The Melvins are super gnarly, dude.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Like,
The Melvins
especially
are the heels.
Heels,
Heel.
yeah.
'Cause I
Because
don't
like a
vert.
camel toe, obviously, like you know, the like everyone knows what a camel toe is, so it makes sense. When you camel toe, right? Okay. So when you camel toe, and so then the Melvin is just Darren Ford told me that the Melvin is like what they call a wedgie in England, so we named it the Melvin. So then it's the rear, right? So then you get the rear wedgie and the forward camel toe. Now that's some dirty, disgusting thinking.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
No, that's
But to
dirty.
do a Melvin on
Dirty.
a vert ramp is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else you would do, and I never seen it done.
I've been
anything
able
else.
to do it on a couple like smaller quarters and stuff,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
it was definitely if someone can incorporate that into street, then
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
never
be
seen that in
nasty,
street.
dude. It's gonna be nasty. But they're getting it on the toes now, and that's where I started
Yeah.
too. Was on the I camel toed before I melvined, and then and then finally I got the balls to just hang up the heels, the heel hangers. Like it's a cliffhanger, bro. That's like it's gnarly.
I mean, you invented a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the like I said, I was the puppet, so like I can't claim it all. Without Jess and Angie and Doug and Parnell and Mitchell and Morris, like dude, like the list goes on. Without them behind me bringing their styles and their elements to it, like I was there to just to like, yeah, guys, if I can represent us like this, then let me represent us like this, and it's been awesome.
Was there anybody who's like the first person to do a front side? Like, Any record of that?
Of the front side? Well, I mean, you
The
saw
first person, the front side. Like,
well, I mean, you saw the first front side in
We just went over this.
you know,
was I
in
working
November
the cameras?
21st.
November 21st, 1991.
No, not on a rail. Just like that was the first front side ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just the first rail front side.
Well, slash probably the first front side. Cause
Oh, okay. I
the
thought
idea-
There was no grinding curbs or the quarter.
no, like
that.
prior to that, right?
Yeah.
'Cause we
Oh, so I
couldn't-
thought that
'cause
was
we
just the
couldn't.
first rail.
And
I
then
didn't know it was the first
and
front
then
side.
so like all the first front sides and back sides are being documented throughout a vertical axis and then into dare to air.
Okay.
That's when all of a sudden it went like, okay, man, here we go. We got it. We figured out the little wheels. I was
Yeah,
able
yeah.
to slide now. So now we're gonna go from a little 3-foot little lay down Royale slide kind of thing to like let's get on top of the rail. And now that we can get on top of the rail, let's lengthen the rail. And now that we can lengthen the rail, let's steepen the rail. And then like it was just like whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
So that's where all the firsts are. You know, by many of us.
Yeah.
You see the first grinds.
Okay.
You know.
I just always thought that was the
By
first
the group,
rail.
by
I
the
didn't know
group,
the first
by the
front
group.
side.
Yeah.
Okay, by the group. All the first ones by the group.
By the group. It was a team effort.
Yes.
We have one more question from, I don't know if it's George Lima or Jorge Lima, but he says, thoughts on a brick and mortar shop in Millvale. Is that
We'll
Jorge
see.
or George?
Was that George?
Is it George?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't see
I don't
it.
know.
Remember,
It
I
says
don't-
he specified Millvale, so I don't know if he
I'm not
was
sure.
a local to
Yeah, I'm
know
not
what
sure.
Millvale was.
Yeah, we're in Millvale.
Yeah.
So, you know, but first things first, let's take care of business, and that's we're raising money we want to get 6 kids by 2022 here to Pittsburgh in the school doing internships with me and kicking some ass. And that's mission number 1. So let's just get through that one, and then we'll talk about brick and mortar. Because first I got to teach them how to lay it.
That's it. Then we'll get the brick and mortar.
Then we'll get the brick and mortar.
Fair enough. Well, that's it for our questions, but I would be remiss. I kind of have a personal, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because like I know when we move on to the next subject, we're going to be into 95 and we're going to leave these things behind. But man, Airborne for me was such like a pivotal film, and obviously the end race was super cool.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of scenes I was curious about. Like one, there's that scene where you're like skating with everyone, and you kind of they all start following you down the block.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you kind of grind
street
this
scene, yeah.
rail, and then you jump down all these stairs at the end. Well, I wanted to one know what that was like, and also 2, did you have any like cool experiences with teaching some of these guys to skate, like Jack Black, Seth Green, some of these guys who were like trying to figure it out, or if any of them had like a natural knack for inline or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, doing the skate scene, like we really knew. Like, if you asked me earlier if there was any pressure, I'd say that I did feel a lot of pressure during that skate scene because not the downhill. The downhill is one thing. You're like downhill's downhill, so like you know you're just hauling ass and like it's awesome.
Right.
But like the skate scene though, like I really felt the pressure to be able to portray what we've been trying to portray and make sure that it like came across. So, I mean, I definitely was. I felt the need to like really just give it my all in all of that and really try to like give a vast collection of things that you could do on a pair of skates through that scene.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
try to not duplicate a trick.
That
and,
comes across,
you know,
actually.
like, and
Yeah,
not
it was really
duplicate a
creative.
trick. So
Yeah.
like let's give them a little wall ride. You can do that. Let's
Yeah.
give them a grind. You can do that. Let's give them a wall ride, like up and over, big wall ride.
Yeah.
Let's give them some vert, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
like, and then let's give them a little like jumping, like you
No,
know.
that
like,
was a great job
It was
with
like
that.
it was like
Yeah.
it was like it was really important to us to craft that because we knew
Mm-hmm.
the significance of this particular film going into all of the theaters. Like this was.
I feel like
this
that
was
one got a
huge,
lot
bro.
of kids on
Well, it
skates.
did, dude.
Yeah, it really did.
It did.
Yeah.
And then we knew that if we were going to have a cult classic, this was probably going to be it.
For sure.
You know, and then like even like I mean even like Brink. This still Airborne is like it's become our.
I've
cult
never
classic.
seen Brink. I've never seen.
And Brink's great too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great
It's
skating in
Airborne
it and
for me.
everything. But
Yeah.
but Airborne is the cult classic. You
Airborne.
know,
Yeah, for sure.
It's our Gleaming the Cube. You know.
Yeah.
Like it just is. And they were really conscious of like the way they dressed everybody. Like even down to the wardrobe department was like, we're gonna make sure that this is a timeless film. We're gonna like keep the way we dress everybody like real timeless. And you can go back and watch it. Like it's almost like you're still there today. Like because they did a really great job with the wardrobe and everything. There was no over the top loud 90s colors that were being influenced at that time. All right, like in early 90s was neon everywhere. But if you look at Airborne, man, the wardrobe people and the way everyone took this movie was like unparalleled, probably. You know, and so you can look. There's like really mellow, muted colors everywhere.
Yeah, I remember like black hoodie, like a dark blue shirt or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then like whatever, just a simple red sweatshirt that like stood out, right?
Yeah.
You know, like from that Mitchell Goosen or Shane was wearing. You know, like so that was just like. It was awesome, you know, to be a part of that.
For
was
sure.
Incredible. And then, like, there was times, like, you know, when we first met up with everybody, teaching everyone how to skate and get going, you know. Shane was pretty decent at skating already. Like, he could roll, you know, like, you know, he was able to do a lot of his own stuff, like just like at least like rolling up the camera or just
some
like
of the fakey stuff. I saw some of the fakey stuff
if
with
he was
him
able to
for
skate,
sure.
he could skate, you know. Chris Conrad definitely could skate.
He looked like a natural Chris Conrad.
Yeah, he's just an athlete, right?
Yeah,
like,
he looks
he's
like
just an athlete.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then I don't know, Jacob Vargas, he could roll. I mean, a lot of everyone could roll. The twins rolled pretty good. Like, so we all went and, you know, we were able to teach everybody, and most everyone held their own, really.
That's cool,
you know. Even you know, and Jack Black. Jack Black is like a hidden athlete, dude. Like I don't know. He's made an.
Is he?
Well, I do really like take a look at Jack Black's career and just kind of take a look at Jack Black. But you gotta kind of respect the dude. Like, he's like he's weirdly, you know, like he's utilized his like the Shaped for pure comedy, but then like you watch some of the stuff that he does, dude, and he's just like he's a freaking athlete.
Yeah,
like he's just awesome.
And then on top of that, you know, his music.
Tenacious D.
It's just like
his
that
brain,
very, very multi-talented.
Jack Black's brain's ridiculous, dude.
It's like Meatloaf.
It was fun hanging out with him.
It kind of looks like Meatloaf.
Right. Yeah.
It was fun doing the movie with him. He would always be like he would always make everybody laugh, right? I mean, he's Jack Black, and he was Jack Black back then too.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was what's really great about Jack too. Is like knowing him then and then seeing him now. Like it's the same Jack Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's just like. He's maintained true, right?
That's really cool though that like everyone was able to take to skating too, and and like you know kind of it's like the one time where you kind of pull that world into our culture. And they are kind of like new to ours when like in their you know
right.
So that's a really cool experience.
It was awesome. It was awesome, man. Yeah. I think my lucky stars, man, to be here today.
Hell yeah.
Well, all right. I think that's
that's
about 2 hours. So
Wow.
We'll go get some.
No wonder why I had to pee.
We'll go get some food, and we'll be back at 8. Thanks again to everyone for watching.
Yeah, it's 4 hours from now.
4 hours.
So no matter where you are, it's just 4 hours from now if you're watching live.
It's 4 hours from now.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
All right.
We're going to recharge. We're going to eat.
Let's do it.
And we might have a coffee.
Or
a beer.
Or 2.
Something warm. Something
No, I
warm. It's
probably
a little
better not,
chilly in
because then I
Pittsburgh.
will be taking a break in the middle of another.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon on the next one.
Awesome.